Good morning. Could I ask you to find a place, a niche, and we'll slowly get going. We're under starter's orders, and Celia tells me Tim must be starting at 0900 sharp, so I wouldn't want to spoil Swiss timing. Good morning. I'm Fred Barrelet. I'm chair of the Beaufort Cottage Educational Trust, and we are very, very privileged and extremely grateful to the Gerald Lee Charitable Trust for once again allowing us to host and have this meeting in Gerald's memory. Gerald was one of the preeminent breeders of thoroughbreds in the second half of the 20th century. With a very small broodmare band, his influence on today's pedigree and bloodstock is enormous still. He was a man with a great inquisitive mind, a man who got things done, and who was a student not just of the breed but of the industry and of the sport as well. And it's in his memory that that his family and the trust have allowed us to organize these meetings. The idea being that it's a dissemination of knowledge and exchange of knowledge with all who are within the industry. So in that sense, here's this year's theme, which is the prevention of or enhancing horse safety in training and racing, which really is a follow-on from what we call the Fetlock Conference just before COVID, which was in response to the global issues in racing, especially triggered at that time by the problems they were having in Santa Anita. So we're 3 years on, 4 years on. Who remembers COVID? That was that big black hole in our lives. And we're absolutely delighted to be back in amongst ourselves and exchanging viruses quite happily without any restrictions. So without any further ado, I'm going to hand over to Abby Kent, who will host and chair this morning's session. And before I do that, might I just please remind you to put your phones on silent. I've done the classic, I've left mine at home and forgot it there, so it's not going to ring today, which is great. And Abby, please, if you could start today's session. Thank you. Please enjoy it, and we'll have a good opportunity to chat later on as well.